To be faithful in the eyes of God is to be fruitful. Luke chapter 19, verse 12 to 13, the Bible tells us how a particular Lord, he said, went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And verse 13 said that he called unto him 10 of his servants and delivered 10 pounds and said to them, occupy till I come. When he returned from verse 17 down to verse 19, the Bible tells us there, he said, let's start from verse 16. The Bible tells us that when he returned, he said, the first servant said, thy pound had gained 10 pounds. And this was the interpretation of the nobleman. He said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful. The fact that they were fruitful was a pointer to the fact that they have been faithful. Because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have authority over 10 cities. And the Bible tells us that the second one came and said, Lord, thy pound had gained 5 pounds. And again, the interpretation of the master was, thou good servant. He said, also be over 5 cities. In the eyes of God, faithfulness will always culminate in fruitfulness. Let's remember that every believer is called to be fruitful. John chapter 15, verse 1 and verse 2. Jesus speaking said, I'm the vine, you are, and my Father is the husbandman. He said, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Verse 8, he said, that he said, herein is my Father glorified, that he bear much fruit. Verse 16, he said, you have not called me or chosen me, but I've chosen you. And I've ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit. So every believer is called to be fruitful. And our fruitfulness and stewardship is a pointer to the authenticity of our faithfulness. It's important to note also that one cannot be faithful and not know it. The Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 5, it said, let us examine ourselves to see whether we are in the faith. It said, prove yourselves, or know ye not your own selves, except ye be reprobates. So each one of us can tell. We know whether we are faithful or not. We know whether we are occupying or not. We know whether we are engaging or not. Each one can tell. It's important to note also that faithfulness is a hidden virtue, but it is always validated by undeniable testimonies. It's validated by undeniable testimonies. So faithfulness is not just what you state with your mouth, but what you show with your life. It's not just what you state with your mouth. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 13. Look at what the Bible tells us here. It says, for as much as these people draw near to me with their mouth, and with their lips they honor me. It said, but they have removed their hearts far from me. It's not just what you state with your mouth. It's what you show with your life. It's what you demonstrate with your life. And like I said, when it is actually authentic, there will be undeniable testimonies to show. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 10 and verse 10, the Bible tells us there, it says, I the Lord, I search the heart, I try the reins, to give to every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. This means that a man's ponderings will define his doings. And what the man is pondering and doing will determine God's response. You don't just state your faithfulness. You show your faithfulness. You show your faithfulness. My prayer today is that from this season onward, our faithfulness shall be on display before the Lord. And the testimonies of our faithfulness will be on display before the world. If you believe it, say loud amen. I said, if you believe it, say loud amen. It's important to also note that it's faithfulness that makes stewardship meaningful and fulfilling. It's what makes it meaningful and fulfilling. That is, faithfulness is the key to sustainable and profitable stewardship. It's what makes your stewardship produce results. It's what makes it garner testimonies. It's what makes it turn your life into a display of divine manifestation. It's faithfulness. That's the ultimate difference maker. So this morning we are going to examine some case studies of faithful stewards and see what became of them.